Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Land Matters. It matters that it is land, but at the same time, there are matters on land that we need to look at. My name is Abigael Mbagaya-Mukolwe. I am a land and land governance expert in Kenya. As you all recall, land is a finite resource, thus making it a very precious asset, but at the same time, it can be a very emotive issue depending on how it is handled. Many of you will recall in our economics class that land is one of the major factors of production. Everything happens on land. Everything. I mean, everything happens on land. And maybe that's why everybody is in a rush to get this thing called land. Everybody wants a piece of the action of this thing called land. But like I said, land is fixed. It's a fixed resource. So it's important we begin to have discussions on how we can live on this land peacefully, all of us, use it sustainably for prosperity and posterity. On this channel of mine, I will address a wide range of issues, including but not limited to land ownership, transactions on land, land tenure, compulsory acquisition. We'll also talk about issues like adverse possession, issues of how do we use this land, land use planning and how we interact with it. We'll discuss anything land. On this channel of mine, I will try to demystify some of our long-held views on issues land. I'll do this by answering some of the questions that you'll bring to me from time to the best of my ability. In addition to that, we'll also look at the rights of landlords. What are the rights of tenants, apartment owners, land taxation? In other words, anything land. And this channel has been started with a view to seeing how we can live peacefully together on this thing called land. On this first channel of mine, I want to start with something that I have observed that has left me really, really traumatized. In the recent past, I have seen people taking machetes and hacking others to death. And I will give examples. Recently, you'll recall the AFC cheerleader, Isaac Juma. He was hacked to death in his home. A little lifting of the lid by the CID, it's a land issue. Immediately before that, there was a young man again who left prison after 14 years, I think in Meru. He came home, hacked his brother to death. When the police lifted up the lid again, it's a land issue. And as the family members were sitting down, planning how to put their brother to rest, he came back and hacked another brother to death. The underlying issue, a land problem. Immediately before that, I think in South Nyanza, a man was hacked to death in his house and his wife raped. A little lifting of the lid, a land issue. You remember again before that in Kisii, some women were pulled out of their houses, widows were pulled out of their houses and hacked to death in front of their family members on the allegations that they are witches. Again, a little lifting of the lid, oh, it could be a land issue. Before that, a principal and his wife were burnt to death in their house. A little lifting of the lid, issue. And most of these crimes are being committed by family members because they have issues. They have disputes on land with each other. Is it necessary for us to kill each other because of land? Does killing anyone make you the owner of that land? Absolutely not. Instead, it buys you a ticket straight to prison where you'll stay a lifetime. And while you'll be in prison, the ones you left behind will share the land in your absence. So what were you killing for? What were you killing people for? Nobody goes with land anywhere. All of us, as we live on this land, we live on it for our lifetime. Thereafter, we all go. Nobody goes with any land. We leave the land behind. So is it necessary to kill anybody because of land that you don't take anywhere? This madness has to stop. And I would like to start addressing issues of how can we own land in this country, because I tend to think that most of the disputes emanate on how did these people come to own the land. The disputes normally emanate around issues of ownership. That's where the dispute normally erupts from. So how can you own land in this country, Kenya? The first way in which you can own land in Kenya is buy land. work hard, put together some money, save, borrow some money from the cooperative, borrow money from the bank, and then buy land. The Constitution of Kenya allows you to buy land anywhere in the Republic of Kenya. And you can live anywhere. It guarantees you, the Constitution guarantees you safety to live and dwell anywhere in the Republic of Kenya. Secondly, how else can you own land? You can apply to the national government or the county government to lease you land to use for a specific period of time, to use for a particular purpose. And if your purpose is compelling, you will be given land on lease and you will pay them rent. You can also approach people who have large tracts of land. Approach them, discuss, talk to them and ask them, oh, if it's possible that you can also rent their land. They will give you the land to rent for a certain period of time. You draw up a contract, you agree on the times and you pay rent and use it for that period of time. And when that period is over, again, you carry your things and leave without bringing complications again to create another dispute. But if you want to continue using their land, approach them again and say, I would like to extend. Another way in which you can own land is that land can be given to you as a gift. Your father, your mother, your grandparents, your spouse can gift you land. I have seen cases where I've attended weddings where parents have given their newlywed children land as a gift. It's just absolutely beautiful to receive land as a gift. Another way again in which we normally own land in this country, we can be bequeathed land by our parents, by our grandparents. In this case, in Kenya, we like to say, I have inherited land from my father or from my mother, from my grandparents. And this is when your parents, when they see their time on earth is coming to an end, they put in place mechanisms on how this land can transmit to their heirs. Now, in this country, what you're observing of late, some of you, you look at your parents, your grandparents, 74, 82, they are not going. 83, they are not going. 84, you pick a machete, you hack them to death because you want to access this land quickly and deal in it the way you want. Does that make you the owner of that land? Will you be happy owning that land? Let us talk about that. Let us say you've tried to own land in all the ways that I have said, and you have done your best. But then a dispute arises. A dispute can arise. Even with well-meaning people, well-meaning transactions, a dispute can arise. When a dispute arises, does it mean you take a machete and you start hacking people to death? No, it is not necessary. There are mechanisms that have been given to us on how we can resolve land disputes. One of them is that you can go to court. Talk to your lawyers. They will help you and guide you how to take your matter before a judge. In this country, we have a very vibrant environment and land court. So you will take your case there, present your facts before a judge, and the judge will make a determination on that case based on the facts that you've presented to them. Secondly, you can also use mechanisms given to us by law. For example, the Land Registration Act has put in place mechanisms on how we can resolve land boundary disputes. Get out of your house, visit the county land registrar, apply for them to come and resolve your boundary land dispute. But what are we seeing? Somebody gets out of his house with a machete at the fence. Mtu akipita hapa amekufa. What nonsense is that? We have mechanisms. No need to take a machete. Because the neighbor's cow ate grass across the fence, you hack the cow to death because you said something will die. Visit the county land registrar and they will help you to resolve boundary disputes based on the facts available to them. Another way in which you can resolve land disputes is by employing alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. We have mediation and arbitration available to us. And these particular processes provide an avenue where people can resolve these disputes in a more amicable manner. In mediation, a mediator gets the parties together and provides an environment where the two of you can reach an agreement. If you do not agree if you're not able to agree in the mediation process, you are free to go back to court. But if you agree, then the outcome of the mediation process can be filed in court and it can become an order of the court which can be implemented. And mediation is so good because it allows the parties to talk with one another. It removes the acrimony. Inatoa chuki, ile chuki watu wako nayo kutoongea. Because now you are talking with one another, it becomes a very peaceful way of resolving the dispute. In arbitration, we have the arbiters, trained arbitrators. So an arbiter will listen to the case, to the facts of the case instead of a judge. It is less formal than a court process. So the arbiter will listen to the case and then they will make a judgment again based on the facts that you have given. In addition to that under alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, we have the traditional dispute resolution mechanisms. Most of us, our communities, have always had ways in which disputes can be resolved. We have the elders. We have, is it the Kaya elders there, elsewhere? Or we have elders in the community who can be called upon to come and resolve a dispute. And the beauty of the elders is that they have the history of the family. They have the history of the land. And by the way, land has history. There's nobody who creates new land. And land does not move or walk. Land is fixed where it is. So normally the community leadership, they have the history of the land. And they can help resolve this issue peacefully. Let us say that these ones are not, so after you've done all that and you think you're not making headway, you can still talk to people. Don't pick up a machete to hack your relative, family member, or even your neighbor to death because of a land dispute. Talk to someone, convene a family meeting, have a discussion. If that is not passing, okay, go to the leadership, the local leadership. We have our chiefs there, we have provincial administration, you have the national. They also help resolve some of these issues, land disputes. If that is not passing, go to the church. Call the church, tell them, hey, come and pray for us. We are nearly killing each other as a family because of a land dispute. They will come, they will pray with you. They will also sit down and see how best to resolve that issue. Because the church leadership normally also involves some of the community members there. No need to pick a machete. Now let us say that is also still not working. You kill anybody? No. Get a land expert, because sometimes some of us are acting out of ignorance. We don't know. Talk to your lawyer. Talk to a land expert. They will also give you the facts and guide you and tell you, here you are wrong. Step back. Then with that, you're able to make a decision and say, do you need to continue this dispute? Please let us talk to one another. There is no need to kill each other over matters land. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching my video. If this is the first time that you're watching us, we'd like you to hit the subscribe button so that next time when we post another video, you'll be notified. And then you can watch us again. In the next video, we will be talking about land. So what is this thing called land? This thing that everybody wants to kill people for. What is this thing called land? Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye.